evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to our band show. I am your host, Christian Ivanko, and it's a pleasure to be here with you tonight. This is episode 28. Can you believe it? It's incredible, and we once again have a common thread that we're tugging on in this episode, and that is another great band from Kingston. That's right, we're excited to bring to you tonight Tiny Blue Ghost, true veterans of the Hudson Valley scene, and a band that we've wanted to have on this program since day one. Not only are they incredible people, they're even better musicians. And we're not going to talk any more about it. I think the best thing we could do is get right into the rock and the roll. So without further ado, it is my pleasure this evening to present to you for the first time Tiny Blue Ghost live on our band show.
Sometimes I'll try to hum with the wind to keep myself busy. If I'm distracted, I'll be optimistic. I don't know if I'll go far away. If I'm here to stay, I don't know where I wanna be. I don't know if I could ever be free. Yesterday I glued back together the frame that fell off the wall. It has been half a year at least since I've tucked it in the corner. A graveyard of dust settled in its cracks while waiting to prove its worth. A second chance to fill the blank space it left between the botanicals. This year I had high hopes, but all the foothills have gone. Lineal mountains appeared. Somehow I've ended up here. I tried my best to get off the ground, but how can I climb if my arms are bound?
Incredible. Guys, welcome to the program. Tiny Blue Ghost in the house tonight, episode 28, our band show. Thank you all so much for being here. What a great evening. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. It's been a long day, but a good day, I hope.
Yes, very much so.
Yes.
Definitely. And I can tell the chat is thrilled to be here. And if you guys want to show the band some love, please drop a ghost in the chat. I almost said a blue ghost. I don't think they have colors on the emojis
No, we gotta
quite
talk
yet.
to the people at Apple to make a blue ghost emoji.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I believe it's third party. Emojis are actually
You
a
can
third
make
party
one
company, I
yourself.
believe. So, but that's a whole different
That's true.
podcast. Anyways, guys, we're here to talk about music and the incredible music we just heard. So why don't we kind of go around the line here? We'll start with you, Marissa. Let's introduce yourself, your role in the band, and then we'll quickly jump into the origin story because I'd love to hear those early days. But first, let's go around the room. Marissa, why don't you tell us a little bit
Sure.
about yourself and your role in Tiny Blue Ghost?
Sure. I'm Marissa. I guess I am the one that started this band like 10 years ago, which is crazy, but lead singer and guitar and band graphic designer, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's me.
nailed it.
Nailed it.
Awesome. Christoph, welcome.
Hi, I'm Christoph. I'm the keyboardist in the band, and yeah, I guess for a while I was just like the band's photographer, and then one day they just asked me if I wanted to be in the band, and then that was
You
it.
should have always been in the band.
And band baker too.
Yes.
Really, what are some of we'll take a sidebar for that. What are some of the, favorite treats
What did
you've
you
baked?
make for my 30th birthday? That was a big hit.
I made Joey this cake that was like a chocolate cake with a espresso German buttercream, and it was like I think it was actually the best cake I've ever made. Like it was just such like a nice cake.
It didn't last very long.
No. He
Wow.
made a gluten-free one too, and it was like equally as like gluten-free cake is so hard to nail and like crushed it.
You guys have many talents. And speaking of talents, Joey on the drums, welcome.
Hey, I'm Joey. Go Bills. I play drums.
Shocker. Hell yeah.
That's
There you
about
go.
it. Yeah.
Andy holding down the low end.
That's me. Yes. Andy. Hello. Bass
And,
guitar. Yeah.
A familiar face on lead guitar tonight, Kyle.
Hi.
How you doing, Kyle?
I'm good. How are you, Christian?
I'm good. Some of you might recall Kyle from our January 2024 episode where we had his band King and Yellow on, also from Kingston. So if you guys want to go watch that after this episode, well, that'd be great. And I think you'd really enjoy it. But with that said, let's talk about something that I know the crew and I have been loving, truly enjoying. It's been such a pleasure to listen to you guys. Now it's so great to share it. Tiny Blue Ghost. Marissa, take it away. How did this band start?
So I had been writing a lot of songs like towards the tail end of high school, and just, you know, when you're done with doing like theater and like a cappella, that was what I was like involved in. I'm like, I'm gonna start a band. So it just kind of was like a solo dream pop project that I had, just with, you know, my first MacBook Pro and GarageBand, and using the tools that I had to just kind of write songs. I met Joey my sophomore year of college, and we became like really fast friends and wrote the first Tiny Blue Ghost song together, which was Supernova, in the second floor lounge of Scudder Hall at SUNY New Paltz. I don't know if it's still called Scudder.
Shout out.
Is it still called Scudder?
Yeah, it is.
It is
Still,
still.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
shout out second floor lounge, Scudder, Scudder Hall. And it's seen many forms over the years, but it just kind of felt like it always wanted to be something bigger. And as the years have gone by, we've had many friends come and go, just, you know, graduate college, people move away. And we just started collecting more people. Now we're up to 5.
Yep.
And we're all here.
That's awesome. So let's move to Joey next, who's been in the band since day one as well. Was it always this arrangement, this instrumentation, or how has that changed over time, if it has?
No, actually, at first, I believe I was playing guitar also, or I think I've played like every instrument in this
There was a
band,
cajon at one
honestly.
point for some reason.
Yeah, like,
Sick.
but yeah, I've been playing
Finds you're the
drums
cajon.
for the longest, but
Everyone knows it.
definitely before that was writing guitar parts with Marissa and playing bass. Like when we were in college, we had a few different drummers and bass players. But yeah, this is Marissa and I have kind of done it for the longest, and it's been kind of our like started off as like a fun
It's our child.
project, and now we're like doing this.
Yeah.
Now, who is the next longest member aside from you two?
Probably
I
Kyle.
think it's
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, like late 2018, which is
yeah,
7
2018.
years.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Okay, so
talk about
Kyle, been
that.
in the band for 7 years.
Yes.
That'll rain.
Talk to me about what made you want to join Tiny Blue Ghost, Kyle.
I think I did like a solo show with Marissa. And that's where I first met these two, Joey and Marissa. And that was like 2017?
Something like that. 'Cause I also did some artwork for Kyle and
Yes.
the Pity Party.
Yeah, you did
And I
artwork
really
for
loved
Pity
what you
Party.
guys sounded like. Like,
And
we just kind of
We just started
same vibe.
playing shows together, and then they were looking for a guitarist. And I was like, I was kind of coming out of Pity Party and had a free
deficit.
time. Yeah, I needed to play guitar somewhere, so I was really excited to join Tiny Blue Ghost because they made fun songs.
Nice. That's awesome. And 7 years later, here we are.
Here we are.
Now, who joined next? Let's keep the chronology going.
Andy.
That would be
Andy.
me. Yes.
Cool. Andy, when did you join, and what were those early days like?
It was December 2019.
Yep.
Played one show in February.
It was January.
January.
10th.
January
I forgot
10th.
about that.
Because
And
we had a
then-
birthday cake for
yeah.
Kyle
Yeah.
that Christoph
right.
made,
Yeah.
of
Yes.
course.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coming together.
I think
Yeah.
about that cake every night.
Yeah. But yeah.
It was a
Yeah, so Andy-
rainbow sprinkle cake.
Andy-
Christoph, did
Andy
you
was
get
next.
in the band and then they found out about your baking, or?
I was just like I was always kind of there, like like I just went to like so many TBG shows, and I photographed a lot of shows, and like I feel like I did like the press photos for I did a bunch of rounds of press photos for TBG, and then at some point in 2021, I guess it was, on our most recent full-length album, like they asked a bunch of friends to like contribute parts to it, and I like added some keyboard parts to a couple songs on that album, and then at some point between then and like now, I joined the band full time and like contributed to writing all of the songs on the last EP and all the stuff we're writing now.
That's awesome. And when we were speaking a little bit during our testing throughout the day, you guys were saying that it did start off mostly through the lens of you writing songs, Marissa, but now it's really become a true group effort. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would say so. Andy joined like literally right before the pandemic hit, and that was when we were like kind of in like a weird like in between of like what do we want to do? What's the future?
Was that before or after Mendigan came out?
That was after.
After Men Again, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I
'Cause
think
that's
with,
when I started.
with Andy joining and like you just being a phenomenal bass player, it was kind of like let's maybe you start, because Joey and I, we were the only ones really writing the parts and just kind of like, hey, here's the part. But then once Andy joined, and who was very capable of writing his own parts, we started kind of backing off from that, and I'm just sticking to lyrics and my guitar, and Joey's just working on drums, and like Joey's like our band like producer and stuff. So, yeah.
That's amazing. It all feels so natural the way it's sort of coalesced to get to the point we're at right now. And I think it shows listening to you guys today. I just hear so many different voices coming together to make one whole sound. And it's really cool. You know, I can put something in solo and then I can hear, because I've heard you in so many different bands. That feels very Kyle. But then when it comes together, though, it really is the group identity. And I think that that's a part of the pleasure of listening to all of your different styles come together. So let's talk about where maybe some of your stylism comes from. Marissa, why don't you start and we'll go around the room. What's one album that really impacted the way you approach making music?
Oh, man. There's so many, but I have to say Threads by Now Now. That was like my first tattoo. When I first heard that album in like 2014, it came out in like 2012, I hadn't really heard like that kind of like indie, emo, whatever. I was like a pop punk, like mainstream whatever girl in like high school.
Chick.
Yeah. You know, so I was just kind of starting to expand and like getting really into like Death Cab and stuff like that, The Cure. But I would say Threads by Now Now because it just sounded different from a lot of things. And to this day, it's an incredible album that holds up and kind of is why we sound the way that we sound.
Christoph, what about you?
So when I was a kid, one year I got for my birthday a CD player, and I had three albums at first, and they were Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band by the Beatles. There was an album of Scott Joplin, like piano ragtime music, and then there was Songs and Sounds of the Humpback Whale, which was just a CD of whale sounds. And I think all three of those kind of like came together and kind of contributed to what I play.
No, it's comical in a sense, but honestly, some of the phrasing and some of the solo sounds you choose, I kind of see it.
Very
and I think it's beautiful.
Christoph do be humping.
All right, moving on. Joey, let's talk about you.
Yeah, I would say like a lot of the stuff that I play in TBG is going back to listening to a lot of like Death Cab for Cutie and Circus Survive in high school, and the drummers from those bands being super influential in kind of trying to spice things up a bit with like ghost notes and just different feels. And I would say also lately, in a weird roundabout way, because I used to play a lot of like hardcore and metal drums when I was a teenager, and lately I've been very, very, very into Deaf Heaven, and I find myself like during parts of Deaf Heaven songs that are the more lighter melodic sections, I'm like, oh, some of the stuff that this dude's playing just feels like the kind of stuff that I try to play for TBG. So it's just cool seeing connections between all the different stuff that I'm into. But honestly, I've just been listening to a lot of John Prine lately, which has nothing to do with playing drums in this band.
Heck yeah.
Hey, all great stuff. And I love asking that of the drummers, and I also love asking this question of the bass players, because you guys, of course, have to, you know, your instruments really are the subtleties in most of modern music, and so it's interesting to see what really draws your attention. So, Andy, what was one album that really reapproached the way that you perform music?
You know, it's kind of hard because when I was growing up, I played a lot of like ska. Yeah, I listened to a lot of ska. I'm a kid from the 90s, so I was like playing a lot of Less Than Jake growing up. But I'd probably have to say, I mean, it's my favorite album of all time. It's The Ugly Organ by Cursive. I think the stuff that Matt McGinn does on there is kind of similar and akin to what I do in terms of the slides and like moving up the neck and playing more leady sort of stuff. That or Colors by Between the Buried and Me. It's a little bit heavier, but it's got a lot of great melodicism to it, so I'd probably pick those two.
Great records. And last but not least, Kyle, what about you?
I think what really drove it home for me when I was growing up and wanting to play guitar was Broken Social Scene, their self-titled album. I heard it for the first time on like my friend's iPod in the middle of a Stewie's, and it's the most upstate New York thing you can do. Changed my life. I was like, crud, I want to be a guitarist now. I want to make noise with my friends.
Yeah, I hear that.
And here I am making noise with my friends.
So let's allow you guys to make some more noise with your friends. We have plenty more conversations to be had. And if you guys want to leave a question for the band, please do. Drop it in the chat. Of course, like, subscribe, comment, and share. And stick around for more interviews. But with that said, I think it's time to get to some more music. So without further ado, Tiny Blue Ghost, take us into the first full set of the evening.
What are you doing here? Don't you know that you're not welcome? You managed to appear right when I least expect you. Manifesting in the deepest cavern of my stomach, bubbling up heavily. Like a balloon made of snow, stranded in the deep, straight from the shallow. Do anything to keep my head afloat. Feel it underneath, reaching up through my shadows, always haunting me. Seconds are eternities, frozen in place. Veins are burning, pins and needles, thorns, cruel perpetrate. You're no fun at parties. Stranded in the deep, straight from the shallow. Do anything to keep my head afloat. Taking back the reins when I lost control. I should have never left. You make me feel so small. Heck yeah. All right, so we're going to be playing a few new songs never heard before unless you've seen us play the 2 shows we played live in the past year. The working title for this next song is called Animal. to myself, wrapped loose around my lips. All it takes is one swift motion to be free. Yet I hold still and stay unyielding. Get up, sit down, stay there, and look around. The light fades, the night hits, and I can't stand that face. I'm confined by a rigid set of laws. Pen from my hands, and incredibly flawed. It's an endless slew of tomorrows that won't come. Yet I'll wait for them as I become undone. Get up, sit down, stay there, I look around. Life fades, night hits, and I can't snap out of bed. Like a cage animal with the freedom to roam. I was there, think my escape was impossible.
Sleep away, nothing here now. Sleep away today. Sleep away today. Nothing right now. Sleep away today. Sleep away today. Nothing here now. Sleep away today. Sleep away today.
Free the whole time. You were 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 free the whole time.
Yeah. We're now going to play a song off of our most recent album, which is almost 3 years old, which is nuts. It's called Between the Botanicals. We're still very, very proud of that body of work. Check it out. BTB by TBG. The song is called Sulk.
Lately, I've been slowly seeing
So good. So flawless.
God, thanks.
Of course. Thank you guys. Thank you for being here tonight. And we want to take a quick second to introduce my co-producer, the man switching the show, Patrick W. Huber. Welcome to the program, Pat.
Oh, I made it. I am here and happy to, be on the show and enjoying Tiny Blue Ghost, who, didn't make a ghost of me. They made me a fan. So,
Yeah.
great
Good
stuff
one.
for sure.
Thanks for not ghosting us.
Hey.
Oh, we could never. We could
Showing
never.
up in the interview.
And we do want to take a moment to also not ghost the audience, the incredible viewers at home who are watching the program. Thank you all so much for being here. We really appreciate
Hi,
that.
all the moms.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Hudson. Hi, Daisy. And nobody else.
Thank you guys so much for being here, and you're in the right place. We still have plenty left of the show for you this evening. So without further ado, Pat, I know you've been probably dying to ask the band some questions. I very happily get to hog the whole first interview, so I'm going to hand it over to you to start this next segment off here.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it short and simple for my first question and just say, it could be one of the songs that we've already heard or one that's coming up or one that you have yet to share with the world. But if no one has listened to your band, what is like the song that you're going to hang your hat to and basically say, this is the one you got to listen to?
Good question.
Ooh.
I would say Stone Balloon probably for me. In terms of like performance and writing and like the mixing and stuff.
There's a lot happening in that song.
I was
Yeah.
pretty happy with the way that one came out.
Yeah.
I'd say Mischief Machines because
Oh my God.
it sounds nothing like us.
It sounds nothing,
and if
no.
they like that, at least there's one thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say maybe Lavender, because it's kind of like thematically has a lot of different elements, but also no Stone Balloon. That's also a really good one.
I'd throw Sulk in there.
Yeah.
Because this is the song we just played, and it kind of got all the different elements. It's got the dream, it's got a little bit of the rock at the end, so I'd probably put Sulk up there.
I definitely hear the
Animal.
Dreamwave and Sulk.
Animal.
I hear them. I hear it in all the songs, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of.
I love my children equally.
Yes.
Yeah,
Listen
it's a
to
hard
all of our
question.
music.
It's a hard question, that's for sure. In Sulk, I do hear a lot of ambience, a lot of textural playing, but then there are also those moments where like Kyle and Christoph are playing that lead in unison, and it's very musical and intricate. So it's a really cool blend, I think, of everything that we will probably hear throughout the rest of this evening if we have not already heard small examples of it here or there. But yeah, the catalog's fantastic, and we'll certainly give you an opportunity to tell folks where to find that in a little bit. But before we do that, we just want to jump to another question here, keep things moving. And since you guys did say there was a lot of fans, friends, and family at home who are all very familiar with you watching, what is one thing that they might not know about the group's chemistry?
Oh no.
Not much.
I feel like they know.
Yeah,
They've seen it all.
they have. Yeah, we're just a bunch
Just a
of
lot of love here, you know?
silly gooses. Honestly.
Just some weird folks.
Yeah.
Very weird. Very weird. That's true.
Seemingly normal, but then it's like, oh.
Very cool and chill. That's
Yes.
what everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks we're not chill, but we're actually very
We're really
cool, and chill.
Totally relaxed, laid back.
It
Totally.
was actually a
Super.
big fear of ours. We were like, they're so cool and chill. Would they even come on our program?
Nah.
We tend to get a little nervous before we go live. But
We decide morning of if we're being chill or not that day.
Yeah.
okay.
It's like a wheel, that's like
Flip a
chill,
coin.
not chill.
Joey's
yeah.
got a chart by the side of his bed.
Yeah. We're like,
Okay.
all right, what are we choosing?
Yeah. Today was a chill day.
That's cool. I think it's fitting. It's working out. Pat, well, now that we know the band chose to be chill today, how does that make you feel?
Angry? No. that would be the total
That's the-
opposite.
Reverse effect.
Do you
no,
also
it
feel
makes me
chill
chill as
through
well.
us, like osmosis or something?
Pat, I was hoping it was going to make you ask a question from a filmmaker's perspective, but if you're angry, I'm always here to talk after the episode.
Anger is a film perspective.
Is it possible to be like chill angry? Like you're chill, but
Oh
also
yeah,
angry at the
that's
same
I've
time?
made I've
Joey's very
perfected that
familiar.
science.
It's Joey's bread and butter.
Yeah. Let's talk after the show.
In all seriousness, that's not my question. Basically, we were talking before the show, and some of you are definitely in the filmmaking arena and love to do a little video editing and stuff beyond that. And the question I have for you is like, let's talk about your music and how it plays into film and where would it sit in terms of being on a soundtrack? Like, is there a particular movie that you say it would pair with, or would it kind of be on a cool genre that would basically you would enhance?
That is not a me question.
That is a good question. Whoever has an answer
That feels
first, jump in.
coded towards me. I don't have a great answer right off the bat, but I feel like it could go either way. I feel like we could be in like a buddy comedy, and it's like
a good road comedy.
Yeah, like we could have the like hum playing, and the main characters are driving on like a scenic highway.
Windows down.
And it's just hey, so you think there's gonna be chicks at this party? I don't know, man. Kevin didn't tell me. I hope someone brings beer. But yeah, or it could be like we could probably do like
Something dramatic, I feel.
yeah, soap opera.
Okay. I feel like you guys could soundtrack kind of like a modern, old school detective type movie where he's pulling out his walkie
That'd be
and
sweet.
Yeah.
talking to
Ooh,
himself,
yeah.
and the
Actually,
mystery
yeah.
just kind of solves itself and unfolds as you watch it.
Good jolly.
We
Under
do,
the tapestry of ambience and dreamwave.
We do have like a little bit of a sneaky thing going on, mostly thanks to Andy. Andy brings the sneakiness.
You're pretty sneaky.
I am sneaky.
Pretty sneaky.
If you saw me walking, you'd see me being sneaky.
You wouldn't see him actually because he's so sneaky.
He doesn't pick up his feet.
No, he just
Darndest
glides.
thing.
I either pick up my feet really high or I don't pick them up at all. Those are the two options here. So
Yeah.
Well, while we're talking about being sneaky,
Big
is there
shuffler
anything
from
you
way back.
guys maybe try to sneak into our performance right now, right, in the studio from your live set to carry over that raw energy? Of course, there's no audience in front of us. They're watching at home. But is there anything you guys try to subtly take from when you're out at a venue, let's say in Kingston or New Paltz, where you guys play often? Is there anything you're trying to bring here? Have you reapproached your performance at all for our show tonight? Let's talk about the sound we're hearing tonight versus what it is when you're out at a venue.
So we have this bit that we do that, like, we end up playing a lot of shows on Saturdays, and a lot of times we're playing a show around 9 o'clock, and we do the intro to Piano Man because, like, it's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. But I realized, like, I don't want to get you guys, like, canceled off of YouTube for playing a cover, so we're not going to do that in tonight's performance. So that's one thing that we do. We
Copyright
did change
strike.
tonight. Yeah.
That is a really bad
Actually, that wouldn't
No
get us
idea where
canceled
that-
off
Play
of
us a
YouTube.
tune, Steinway guy.
We would have to switch scenes real quick, but if you wanted to do that, Pat, would we? I mean, I do love Billy Joel.
I don't know. I think the
It'd definitely
biggest
be good for
difference is
us.
that we can all actually hear ourselves.
It's crazy.
Like, but the energy, I feel like it's the
I
same,
replicate
you know?
my venue environment in that I always have to pee, regardless of where I am. So it helps my drumming move
It's his
along
natural
a little
habitat.
Okay, you know what? I'm not going to let this Piano Man thing go. I don't know if you guys know this. Billy Joel is my favorite musician. So, Pat, why don't you switch
My
the scenes over
condolences.
and let's do a quick snippet of what we would get from them out at a venue. I think it is true to form of the question. I'd love to hear this. Pat, let us know when you're ready.
Yeah, let's get a preview. You are good to go.
So we really only do this for a few bars, and then everyone starts singing, and then it just kind of fades. Like, I don't sing at all when they're doing this. This just happens. And then the crowd starts singing. I never sing it, 'cause I actually don't know the words beyond. That's it. That's it.
That's amazing. That's
I
the
did
first
nothing.
crime we've ever had committed on our live stream because it's so
did it.
good. You just like stole that moment from the annals of rock and roll history. That's amazing.
If
Wow.
my sister Kate is watching right now, that was for you, Kate. He's gonna be all right.
Shout out to Kate.
Let's
Crimey
hope. Let's hope.
blue
But,
ghost.
Billy's gonna be all right.
Yeah, no, for sure. Sending
We
love and
just healed
prayers
him.
to Billy Joel right
We
now.
did just heal Billy
I'm,
Joel.
healed
I'm,
Billy.
I'm actively trying to kill him.
Oh,
Kyle! Kyle!
Pat, I believe you have another question to get us back on track there, Mr. Producer.
Yes, yes. After that great joke by Kyle, I think a good question.
I'm
is,
not figuratively.
I guess it's 9:33 on a Saturday. So
Okay.
is this the sequel? Is my joke question? But let's talk about playing out at shows and evolving your sound. Is there any particular like moment, good or bad? It could be like a technical failure or just like have a bunch of fans, bum rush the stage. But is there a moment when you're out and about playing your music that really helped move the band forward, or maybe was inspiration for a song or anything like that?
Crashing the van.
Let's not talk about that.
That's
I
a
mean-
really good question.
I think back to one of the first shows we played as a 5-piece when it was outside of that house venue
Oh yeah.
in New
Toe
Paltz.
Jam.
No,
Oh, no.
It was
The-
pouring raining.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we were all playing underneath this like makeshift tent.
Tent.
I wasn't under the tent.
And
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I
It
remember
was like
that.
a mud pit.
Oh,
like a
and
mosh
people
pit.
were
Someone's
moshing
backyard.
and slipping in the mud and like sliding down the hill.
and like the
good show.
cops showed
And
up.
the cops showed up, and it was like it's one of those like memories. And there's great. We have like cool. What are they called?
Footage.
Footage.
Oh, Polaroids.
Polaroids
Yes.
from that
Oh.
night too, which is really cool. So
Yeah.
I think I'd put that up there as like, put it in our canon.
And also, I think that was like one of the first shows that we played, like coming slightly out of the pandemic, where everyone was like still practicing like safety protocols and whatnot. But it was just really validating to be playing live music after not having done it for almost 2 years, and then still seeing these kids at New Paltz just going twice as hard as they would have before in the mud, in the rain, with the cops on whatever on the street, and
On the fringe.
on the fringe of the lawn. No, and just like people are always just super receptive and very kind. But yeah, that's a good one.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Great answer. Thank you, guys. We're about to jump into another segment of music, but if you are joining us tonight, let us take a quick second to tell you about what it is we do here at our band show. So once a month, we go live with a local band from right here in the Hudson Valley. We broadcast them on our YouTube channel, and then we edit the sessions and put out videos weekly. We basically take some time to rework everything, kind of remaster it and recolor it, recorrect it, whatever we may need to do to even polish it further. So subscribe, turn on notifications, because Tiny Blue Ghost will be coming your way very soon. And while you're here, if you wanted to check out our amazing back catalog of past guests, they're all local bands from the Hudson Valley or the surrounding area, and we'd appreciate your support towards them. Now, with that said, let's support Tiny Blue Ghost by lending them our ears yet again this evening for another set of music, this time kicking it off with a song called Surrender. Take it away, guys.
This is also a brand new song, actual first time we have ever played this, because we kind of finished writing it a couple weeks ago. So I hope you enjoy it. How have we found ourselves here? I can't remember last call. But soon we'll have to go, and I don't wanna linger on. I had no hesitation to the choice we made. But there's no turning back, just you and me and quiet rain. Quiet rain. I'm not afraid of the dark, only what lurks inside. But when I'm with you, you're the only thing that's on my mind. good to play that one. We're gonna also keep going with the new theme, and this next one's also new. It's the last of the new ones, so we got 3. This one is now called Used To.
Awkwardly, I turned and waved. Long ago, she knew all my fears, but the small talk won't bring back the years. You have been in the back of my mind, the concept of you changing over time. When I try to reach out, talking with myself, finding ghosts and shapes of friends. See a good thing to attend. So I asked her, where have you been? Said you moved out to Washington. If your number change, with the final glance she said no, it has always stayed the same. You have been in the back of my mind, the concept of you changing over time. When I try to reach out, with myself, finding ghosts and shapes of friends. See a good thing to attend. Do you ever think of me? Do you ever think of me? Do you ever think of me? Or is it all a distant memory, like an echo in a dream? Do you ever think of me? And all the promises you couldn't keep, the promises you never kept. Used to be in the back of my mind, the concept of you vanished over time. I don't try to reach out, I just keep to myself. All the ghosts become my friends. See a good thing to attend.
Speaking of old and new, this is the very first Tiny Blue Ghost song that occurred at approximately 2 a.m. in the second floor Scudder Hall Lounge, called Supernova.
Enjoy. We are made of dust, skin and bones. We can trust the freckles on your face, a constellations. Your eyes see all, and all I see is you. Spin me in circles and never let go. Pretty moments like this are what makes us glow. Your touch is electric, it vibrates my soul. When we're heart to heart, all the galaxies start to explode. They explode in a supernova. They explode in circles and never let go. Hitting moments like this are what makes us glow. Your touch is electric, it vibrates my soul. When we're heart to heart, all the galaxies start to explode. Explode. I'm supernova.
Fantastic. I mean, so much musicality on display. I wish we had more than a rapid fire round to go through it all, but such is the part of the program that we are at. With that said, we're just going to jump right into it, guys. You know the deal. It's a rapid fire round. We have a bunch of questions that we want your answers to very quickly, because that's just how we roll here in the final segment. So first up, we're going to go around the room, starting with Marissa. What is a hot take about the music industry that you stand by? And they call that a twist in the biz.
For the lack of time, I don't think it's a hot take, but I think musicians deserve health care and to be paid equally and to not be taken advantage of.
Beautiful. Christoph?
Dance music peaked at like 2010s, like Calvin Harris era and like dubstep.
Okay, I could second that. Joey?
Andy. I don't know what to do after that.
It's true though.
You don't want to say anything? You're good?
Yeah, no, I have no takes at all about the music industry.
Okay. If you can't write a full album, don't write music.
Okay.
I mean it. If you can't write a full album that's like at least 8 to 10 songs and you can't release it as an album, don't write it. Goodbye.
So us for the past 4 years.
That's why we haven't released an album.
Wow. I'm the antithesis of that. I think every single human being should make music. Everyone, I don't care how good it is, you should make it. It's in your head. Everyone has a hit in their head, I think, and everyone should make it.
Like the Karens, what is that band called?
Oh, My Pal Foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody look up My Pal Foot and then tell me that everybody can
Great
make
song,
music.
The
Yeah.
Shags.
I have
Shags.
never heard of that.
First, look up Tidy Blue Ghost.
Yeah,
Then look
yes,
up My
there
Pal
you go.
Foot.
There you go.
That's a
Wow.
good order of operations.
Yeah. for
No.
sure.
Kyle, while we're on you,
Oh,
what
no.
is a song that you either feel is over or underrated?
Scenes from Italian Restaurant. I think it's overrated.
Overrated. Damn. Okay. Fair enough. I'm not the guest though, so we'll move on.
Am
And-
I up? Your turn. Can we come back to me? Does everyone else have someone they can go?
I don't know.
Overrated or underrated?
Or underrated. This is a cool moment where you can maybe shout out even a local band that you like.
I have one.
Go.
I think Friday I'm in Love by The Cure is underrated. I don't think it's annoying. I think it's a fantastic song because when they were recording it, first of all, it just makes me instantly happy. But when they were recording it, something with how they recorded on tape, it's like in between, not keys, some music.
They sped up the tape a little bit.
Yeah, it's why
after they
it
recorded
sounds like a little. If you try and play with it in the background, it gets like you sound slightly out of tune because of the way it was recorded on
Sped
tape.
it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what's that they call on synths, Kyle? I know you're a synth guy. The basically it's like the detuning.
Volume. Oh, sorry. Detune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got like a natural detune built into it. And I totally agree with that. You know, one of my biggest issues, and I'm just going to throw it to this because it seems to be where I think what you're saying resonates from, Marissa, corporate radio. It's like Genesis is this incredible band. You have Emerson, Lake, and Palmer, but yet we only listen to Rush or AC/DC. And don't get me wrong, I love those bands, but that era's mainstream radio is so set on like the 5 big hits from each band, and they have to be high energy and high pumping, and even like Scenes from an Italian Restaurant isn't played. They just play Piano Man, or
true.
maybe even like Moving Out, right? Because that's like one of Billy Joel's like rocking
Great
songs.
song.
So I think that's like the issue with why that song feels underrated, even though it is a timeless classic. It's like, you know, while it's maybe getting 5 plays a day, AC/DC, which is my favorite band, Back in Black's getting maybe, you know, 500 to the Cure's 5. So
Yeah.
I think you mentioned Emerson, Clark, and Palmer.
Lake.
Oh man, my whole bit doesn't make sense then. But yeah, no, that's not real. Kyle made a playlist for me a couple of years ago at my request called Sad Cowboy. And it's a lot of melancholic country music from like the 60s and 70s, and
You
a
can go
song
find it on
that
Spotify.
if you ask Marissa what
Spotify,
song I
Kyle
sing
McDonough.
around the house
It's gonna be
more
on the
than
bottom here.
anything, there is a song by the band Dillard and Clark called Polly.
Freaking Polly.
And it is the most male, mournful wail of a song I've ever heard in my life. It sounds like this cowboy has been riding in the desert for 6 months, and his like last drop of water is in his canteen, and his like last refried bean is just like disintegrated in the sun, and he's like lamenting about like a long lost lover or something. I'm sure the song has nothing to do with that, but that's what it makes me feel
That's the
like.
vibe.
I shed a tear every time.
The hot take is that there's really good country music.
Yeah, well,
Country
listen
music
to.
exists.
Yes.
It's only
Hot
country
take.
music is only good if it makes you laugh or cry.
well, there's your hot take.
Okay,
Now let's move on
okay.
to another round of questioning. Do you have a guilty pleasure or desert island song, whatever vernacular you want to associate with it? And what is it? Marissa, let's start with you.
Friday I'm in Love by The Cure.
Fantastic. Christoph?
It's Cake's cover of I Will Survive,
Ooh, I actually have heard that, and it actually goes pretty hard.
especially like the explicit version where they throw an F word in there.
Yeah, no, they were just breaking all the rules. Joey?
Promiscuous by Nelly Furtado.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one.
It's one of the sickest beats I've ever heard in my life.
Timbaland.
Very true. Andy?
Toss up between Candy by Mandy Moore and Toxic by Britney Spears.
Oh man.
Good song.
Yeah, now
Here
we're
comes strong
talking.
here,
This
Kyle.
has to be a
Now we're
playlist.
talking.
You gotta make this playlist.
I was going to say
Can we
Fantasy.
cover Britney Spears?
Fantasy
By Mariah,
Carey.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's got that Genius of Love sample in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is great.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Last
Fantastic.
question in the rapid fire round. We'll start with Kyle and we'll go around counterclockwise here. Kyle, what's your dream festival lineup? Pick 3 to 5 bands
Oh, man.
or artists.
That we're playing with.
TV
Or just general.
However you want to answer it is totally up to you.
BB King,
Whoa.
Nelly Furtado, and Juvenile.
Can't beat that. Andy, you got big shoes to beat.
Yeah, I have
Bring
no
it.
idea how I'm going to fill that. I mean, I'm just going to go straightforward. I'm just going to say cursive, and then probably Me Without You and Cymbals Eat Guitars.
Awesome. Joey?
I would say Jimi Hendrix, Portishead, like circa when that Roseland album came out. And then I would bring Every Time I Die back for one more show, and I would make Jordan and Keith forget that they hate each other.
Okay. They were a great
I
band.
would give them the eternal sunshine of the spotless mind treatment, and they'd play one more awesome show.
Joey's not built for
There you
rapid
go.
fire
Those
questions.
Buffalo Boys. Christoph, you're up.
Mine has no theme, but like Bright Eyes, but like pre-2008.
Mine had a theme.
Like Not Them Now. And
Yeah,
then
God, no.
Streetlight Manifesto. And then how about Nora Jones?
Why not? I mean,
Why not?
That she's obviously
How about
headlining,
it?
right?
There's like a common jazz thread
I
between
know
all of them.
I
in
know
some
we got to
way.
wrap this up, but the way you said, how about Nora Jones? It's like you were
How
guessing a
about her?
letter in Wheel of Fortune. You were like, how about
Can
Nora
I
Jones?
get a Nora Jones?
I love Nora Jones.
She's
I know,
amazing.
but the
No,
way you
she's
threw her out
absolutely
was
There
so
is
incredible.
two Nora Jones in this.
Marissa?
There's so many options, but I promise it makes sense. I would like to see Erykah Badu, The Cure, and Paramore. Like, current sound Paramore.
Sure.
It makes total sense because it
promise-
is your dream lineup.
I
So
think that's
awesome.
I think that's the When We Were Young festival.
I think that's happening.
Yeah, it's in Orlando, Florida.
All right,
in
Pat.
Las
We're having a
Vegas.
lot of fun over here, but it is your role as the co-producer to bring us home. What do you got for us?
Hey, having a great time. Thank you, Tiny Blue Ghost. This has been an amazing evening. Fantastic music that you're playing with us. And Marissa, I definitely appreciate the little hearts and those, and that heart is for our audience as well as our fantastic crew in the studio. Hopefully you could see them there in the back of the cameras. Maybe they can wave. But in the studio right now, Emmanuel Fatekis, Rob Yoli, Dan, the man, Chester, and Eric Greenup. So
Thank you guys
Thank
so
you guys
much.
so
We
much.
could not do the show without you, and we hope you know we really appreciate it.
You guys rock.
100%. And Dan, maybe I'm getting his last name wrong, but Violi, I believe. Was that right, Christian?
Yovella.
Yovella. Okay.
Nailed it.
Apologize for that. Yeah, I
Double
guess I
dance.
nailed it like a bad cake on a reality TV show on Netflix, but that's on me. But Dan was here earlier helping us set up and definitely helped us out quite a bit.
Now,
Shout out
Tiny
to
Blue Ghost.
Christian's mom for making us food, by the way. That was
Yeah.
absolutely
Oh, thank you.
incredible.
Christian's mom.
Oh my god, we had the best burritos and beans. It was great.
Beans.
The beans.
Glad you guys enjoyed. And
that
we
was the
want the folks at home who maybe are just here from a past episode to continue to enjoy your music. So where can they follow all things Tiny Blue Ghost?
All right, so it's the classic link in bio situation. We're on all social media. Haven't really used Facebook a lot in recent times, but really like Instagram is where you could find us. We are on TikTok. Also haven't touched that in a while, but we're on all the streaming platforms. But the best way to support small bands is to just buy from us directly. If you like what you hear, we have lots of records for sale. The more recent stuff that we've been playing is on Count Your Lucky Stars. That's
You
what
know
Between
you
the
wanna.
Botanicals came out on. So if you want like vinyl records that are really pretty and designed by myself, and also they're pink. Buy the record. I'm gonna hypnotize y'all to buy our records, but
Subliminal messaging.
subliminal message. Yeah, buy the record. But yeah, we're you can find us anywhere. So give us a follow to stay up to date because we're resurrecting after a kind of slow build up in the past couple of years because life happens. But we're writing again, and we're really excited to show you guys more of what we've been working on.
We can't wait, and thank you guys for giving us a sneak peek of some new tunes tonight on the program. That's going to be a lot of fun to hear the recorded versions after hearing these
Yeah.
more raw live versions here on the band show.
Maybe I'll change more lyrics. Who knows?
Who knows? And these
Or
will
the
be
song
special
title.
moments in time, and
I'm
that's going to be
switching
really
to
cool to
tuba.
have that.
Yeah, Kyle's gonna start playing tuba.
In about a month. No more guitar.
No more guitar.
Straight tuba.
Canceled.
Now, before we jump into the last bit of music here, good friends of the program and co-collaborator of ours, Andy of Shortwave Radio Band, just put out a record. And so, Marissa, since you were speaking about supporting music, buying music directly from the artist, it makes me think of going to their Bandcamp and supporting them directly.
Yep.
So if you guys want to check out Frequencies by Shortwave Radio Band, please go and check that out. It's available on all streaming platforms, but they're a great band, incredible musicians, and the record was also produced by our band show alumni Erie, so it'd be kind of supporting multiple of our past guests, so please go give that record a listen. Again, that's Frequencies by Shortwave Radio Band on Bandcamp. And one last thing before we part ways here, our band show's hitting the road for the first time. On June 6th, we're going to be filming at Reason and Ruckus in Poughkeepsie for Ben Basili of Big D and the Kids Table. He is doing his first ever solo release, and it's called Benergy. It's an incredible combination of jazz, funk, ska, and we're just so honored and thrilled that he invited us to go out there and do what we do at his performance. So that's going to be on June 6th at Reason and Ruckus in Poughkeepsie, and it's going to be a blast, guys. We've gotten to hear some of the music he's put out, and it's incredible. It has me humming all the time, and I know you guys will enjoy that show. So check it out there, and of course, we go live once a month. We'll be live on June 28th with the band from the Albany area called Of the Atlas, and so much more. So if you like what you're hearing, please like, subscribe, comment, and share, and we'll see you guys at the next Our Band Show episode. Now, with that said, Tiny Blue Ghost, would you guys do us the honor of taking us out with the final song of the evening, The Plunge?
We will absolutely take you out.
Thank you.
I don't know. I gotta see if I can. It's kind of late.
biggest fear. I'm familiar at the surface, but now it's underneath. How can this happen? The water's so cold, and you're growing smaller from my vantage point. But I pay the price, losing my sight, losing my mind. And there's a day that passes each year secretly, telling when I'll expire, and that day might be here. Harder I swim, the heavier I feel, as you come closer. The distance
guys so much.
Educated, but I can't understand. How'd you get home last night? How'd you get home last night? Lost in the credits, think I'll watch it again. Who was that super guy? Who was that super guy? Who was that super guy? Who was that super guy?
to Unsigned 518. I'm here with Ryan Shaw of Shortwave fucking Radio Band. Oh my God, it is such an honor to talk to such a megastar like yourself.
I can't believe I'm here.
No, yeah, obviously everybody knows we're in the same band, and I asked you to come do this because I needed a guest real quick, and you live like 90 seconds away from me, so
This is true.
I was like, Ryan, come over and be my guest. Be my guest. But what we want to do, because there is purpose, obviously Shortwave Radio Band just put out an album.
Yes, we did.
And you had a very strong hand in the songwriting on the album. And we do want to get like up to that point, but I kind of want to give you the chance to tell the story of Ryan Shaw up until Shortwave Radio Band, into Shortwave Radio Band, and kind of the process that went into the album. So I guess just like, fucking briefly. But let's like tell like your kind of introduction with music.
Sure. I was born on a Monday, naked, as most of us are.
Oh, that's sexy.
My interest in music started pretty early. Took piano lessons at 8 years old. Music was always sort of ingrained in me. And in 1996, when I was in 6th grade, me and a bunch of my buddies thought it would be cool to ask our parents for guitars from the JCPenney catalog for $69.99. So me and a group of 8 guys got some guitars. We were super
all
cool.
fucking 8 of you.
Yeah, we all got them.
Played guitar.
We brought them to school.
You were a band of 8 dudes
Yeah.
that played the guitar.
Yeah, that played "Come As You Are."
Okay, but nobody was like, yeah, maybe I'll play the bass.
No,
maybe
it was all just acoustic guitar. We didn't know any better. We were from Thai.
And by that you mean
Ticonderoga, New York,
Ticonderoga, New York, yeah.
where I was in the fife and drum corps at Fort Ticonderoga. Maybe you've heard of us. We've been coast to coast.
Were you actually coast to coast playing drums?
Yeah, well, we did. And when I was in fife and drum, we got to go to the Ronald Reagan Library in Anaheim, California, and play
fuck that
there.
dude, but
well, I mean, the library was cool. Anaheim was cool. Long Beach was cool. We played every St. Patrick's Day in the Boston St. Patty's Day parade.
Really?
Yeah.
How many years? See, this I didn't know.
Hey,
how many years did you do this?
All my high school summers, so 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah. So we'd go over there in March. Right after 9/11, we did go down to Manhattan. It's called the Ticonderoga Ball. It's something that they do for the like a fundraising event. And we just marched down several blocks of Manhattan, and people were going nuts. They thought it was the coolest thing.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I got to do some pretty cool stuff.
So you kind of are a little bit of a big deal. Do you still have was it like a kilt and shit?
It was, we were 18th century continental musicians. So we represented the American side.
All right. Do you still have the uniform?
I do. You should see the butt. That's the best part. It's just this big poofy like chef hat. It's great.
Sweet. Yeah, you should bust that out sometime.
I totally will.
So yeah, I didn't know that. But your original after the octuplet of acoustic guitar players, like at some point you played bass, right?
I did. So we had a lot of things going on simultaneously. We had grunge going on. We had fife and drum going on, and a reggae band.
Right.
So when I got to high school,
Wait, tell everybody the name.
I joined the Zion Riders Reggae Unit.
The Zion Riders Reggae Unit.
Oh yeah,
a bunch of white kids out of Ticonderoga.
Yeah, man. You don't start up nothing, there won't be nothing.
But that. I mean, I love reggae music as well, and you learned like a really solid foundation of like traditional reggae bass stuff, like, because that's the other thing that like I almost fucking hate to admit is that you're a much better bass player than me.
I don't
like,
think so.
I'm the bass player in the band, and I'm like, well, yeah, Ryan's a better bass player than me. And it's like, well, why doesn't he play bass? It's, well, because he's also a better guitar player than me. So like, it just, I'll just hang back here.
I go where I'm needed, and there's certain tunes that I'm glad that you're singing on. I couldn't sing Sabotage.
Oh, I could barely sing Sabotage.
So I'll jump on for a song like that.
Yeah. But like, all right, so you've got the reggae, playing bass, and when you like learned bass guitar, like you learned it, like when I learned it, I learned it like almost like a combination of drums and acoustic guitar. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, okay.
But I'm just now kind of getting the feel of like traditional bass, quote unquote, lines.
Yep.
And you kind of learned that right from the start, right?
I was sort of forced into that. Usually I would just play the root notes like we'll do in any kind of punk song.
Like I do now. I'm like,
yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It's awesome. But when you're getting into reggae and stuff like that, you're getting into like arpeggios and just knowing a scale and the notes that work in that scale. I'm not really a theory guy. I always am envious of theory people.
Same.
You know, they're nerds and I want to be just like them, but I just have never done it. I kind of know a bit of theory, but it's mostly by ear. I was taught to play the guitar by ear. So that's just what I do to this day.
right. Yeah, and I like lean on technology a little, like especially like now. Like I mean, you've seen the app on my phone that like, that breaks down the tabs. And,
Oh, yeah.
You can isolate the sounds and slow it down and loop everything, and that's how I've been learning.
Very helpful.
And
right?
and it's like going back and like checking out like old punk songs or old reggae songs or old classic rock songs or blues songs or whatever, but like shit that like I'm familiar with on like I know the song, but I've never learned to play. Learning shit like that just for fun has really helped. Like you don't even know. Like I've learned
Maxwell Murder. You were learning
no,
the other
fuck
day.
that. But like I've learned probably 10 or 15 cover songs by myself, just like in the Dazzle Den, that nobody in the band even knows that like I learned, because it's not something that I want to bring to the band. It's just something
to have at the ready.
No,
if
just
needed,
to
or
almost,
just so you know.
just to almost like.
Hey, I've always wondered how to play it.
Yeah,
that
like
song.
almost like to learn something new. To just be like there was this one Creedence song. What is it? I can't remember the name of it, but it's that.
Oh, like the Vietnam song?
Yeah,
from Forrest
Fortunate
Gump?
Son.
Yeah.
So Fortunate Son. The other day, I was just like, that'd be good. That'd be a fun one to learn.
Yeah.
So I like busted out the acoustic guitar and spent like fucking 2 hours, and I learned like basically the whole thing of Fortunate Son, and then I'll probably never ever play it again.
Well, I'm learning a lot tonight. I didn't know any of this stuff.
Yeah, like nobody, and
great.
that's why I always say, like in practice, at band practice, when people, people be like, did anybody practice? I'm like, motherfuckers, I practice all the time.
And he's like, I'm exhausted. I didn't know you were playing Fortunate Son all day.
Because I don't, not that I don't go anywhere, but like I like being at home, and when I have free time, I like being here, and part of that free time is usually grabbing my bass or.
Well, it's nice
that
that keeps you productive,
Yeah, chopping it up.
Sweet.
So I guess let's talk about, because maybe some people don't know how you even joined the band, but like I'll begin it from my side, and then we'll pass it over to like your side of things. But like my side of things, it was Abby had just joined the band. Maybe like a week or
it was
two.
like a matter of weeks.
Yeah, it was like maybe a week or two. And there was some things that had come up where we had gigs scheduled and lined up, and Lonnie might have to step away for a little. He had some things that he had to take care of, and he was like, I might not be able to make these dates.
Right.
And instead of cancel them, we were like, well, maybe we can bring in a fucking ringer. Because John was like, hey, this guy Ryan that I've been playing with is like really good or whatever. And then like it ended up being for moot even before we called you, because like shit worked out where Lonnie didn't have to, he was like, no, I can make the dates. And we're like, well, let's just bring in another, we need, another guitar player
Right.
to like, to feel like a traditional band,
Right.
And so John texted you and said, hey, do you know where my buddy Andy lives? And you were like, yeah. Can you come by? You're like, okay.
I think it was more like interesting development. Giddy up.
Probably. That's actually in John vernacular. like,
I know exactly what that means.
Yeah.
I remember I had a 4-pack of Hetty Topper and Vocal Banger in the fridge, and I grabbed them both, and I said to my wife, Tammy, they're going to ask me to join the fucking band.
Yeah.
I know it. I'm bringing beers.
Yeah, we were going to ask you to and we had met like twice, maybe.
Yes, when I came to see you guys, shortwave radio band, play at...
when we were just a trio.
Yes, playing at Bound by Fate right here in town.
Yeah, and Lonnie had never met you.
Right.
And Abby had never met you.
Right.
And we basically, all four of us, decided that if you said yes, that you were joining the band. And none of us had ever heard you play.
I had never been to your house or anything, so I'm walking in... And I've never been in it wasn't even named the Dazzle Den yet. It was your garage.
It was my garage.
But it still looked much like it does now, being that it was dark with different kinds of lights on.
But there wasn't any carpet.
Oh, that's
then.
right. There was no
carpet. And were John's drums already set up? They were.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm walking through the front door. You guys are all at the other end of the room.
Yeah.
Speaking to me from across the room. It was very surreal, and it was very serious right from the beginning. And I'm holding all these beers, and you basically were like, so this is what's happening, and we were just wondering if you'd join the band. And I said, sure, but would you like to hear me play first?
And we were like, no.
Specifically you go, no, John said you can play. And I knew from that moment, I'm like, okay, I can hang with these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, but I do remember definitely being like, no, we're good. We don't need you. We don't need to hear you play.
I was a little like, wow.
Are you in or are you not? And you're
And
like,
I was
yeah,
in.
all right, I'm in. And we're
Sure.
like, cool. First practice is Monday at 6.
I was so excited, and we'll just figure it out as we go.